Let me move some stuff. Yo, what up, Gagey? First view, like, and comment. My mans. My peoples. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, here we are again. You and I. Me and you. Alright. Essentially today I'm just be working on the spoon until I can get up the courage to give another shot at our love and hate rings. I messed that one up. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. Anyways, that was it. Didn't turn out too great because, there's always some issues. Oh, my sweetie dear, I'm great, honey buns. Hilarious. Oh, man. What a time. What a time, what a time. Let me just kind of get straight into it. Start figuring out a little bit of this. What I'm learning about these spoons is there's a lot of direction change, and all of that really gives you some unanticipated insight in the nature of things when it comes to carving. The carpenter, this is not necessarily the subtleties of wood direction are not always immediately apparent, because generally speaking you're making cross cuts for the most part. Occasionally you make a full length cut on a board, but you're never really changing direction. You know what I mean? Like with this thing, you're going to change direction. You'll be on the same side of the spoon. And that wood will just be like, nope, I don't want you to pull that way. And you got to listen to it. You have to pay attention, you see. For instance, on these little curves, I find it very difficult to pull back out of a curve without undesirable results. So I'll go to the bottom of it, try to pull out, go to the other side of that same curve, and then I'll pull to the bottom of it from that side too, until I basically attain my curve by creeping up on it from each side. And I don't know if that's a proper way to do it. It seems to be what works and keep that little chatter out. But certain there are better carvers than me. If you're interested in seeing some, two people that I know actively who carve pretty much daily is Lyon's Fix-It Shop, Lyon, and Dad's Workshop. He is building some big timber bunk beds. All construction lumber, but he's putting it together masterfully. No fasteners, no nothing. Just good joinery. I admire it. I don't know if I could do it, but I love watching it. So, just alternatives for your time when I'm not on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the squad. Peeps in the crew. Gage said, be careful cutting like that. My grandma, rest her soul, cut her thumb off like that. 10 years later, without her thumb, she had her own way and sliced her hand wide open. Holy smokes. Yeesh. Yeah, I definitely gotta be careful about that. Solo Mellow, what up? Shakur, what's happening? Druiz, what's going on, my man? So Mellow said, nope, thought that was a lure. Oh, he thought I was putting the Whopper Plopper together. Listen, these are the same skills. These are the same skills. So if I can get me a proper spoon, I definitely can get me a lure. I gotta figure out which one I want to make though. I swear every time I've had a Whopper Plopper, I've lost it so fast that I'm like, I'm never buying one of those again. Like those things will get hung up in 20 minutes and you're just like, God dang it. Break my heart. Then I'll go back to the old trusty rooster tail. I love a rooster tail these days. And I just recently discovered them. Well, recently started using them. Always knew about them. Spoon time, love it, West. That's what's up. Thank you, Ruiz. Ruiz says it's a sharp knife. Yeah, it is. The American man says, good job. Thank you, sir. Working that wood like an old school vet. I wouldn't say that. I don't know. Those old school vets might disagree. But you know, I'm gonna try it. My kids saw the violin short today and they were impressed, which surprised me so much. My kids don't typically care a whole lot about my internet shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, hey, you seem to have gotten really good at that fast. And I was like, what? I did? Yeah. Soft on the kids. I tell you. Make a wuss out of you real quick. So that's what I'm after, right? So that's where I'm at. So I don't want this flat top that's not going to be the top of the spoon. I'm going to cut a bunch of that out. But it's very unnerving. All of it is. So that's why I'm cutting it. So taking my time getting these pieces out. Let me take heed to what my buddy was saying before I caused him some more stress in this chat. Cut away from myself a little bit. See if I can start with some good habits till I get good enough to avoid all the rules altogether. But you can tell how this stuff, like for instance, it's not going to matter here, so it's going to split. I just want to show you how easy. If you're going one way, like one way it'll want to slice. You go just a little too deep, and you see that? Just bloop, it'll just whack a chunk off. And that can be crucial in the right place or the wrong place. So you want to have a, you know what I mean? And when I do that, I'm doing exactly what Calvin was talking about the other day. I'm just coming at a diagonal with it, right? And as I pull with that diagonal, I'm just coming down a little bit, right? It's like a nice little slice coming off of it. Super good. But also, I noticed this little this little trick that was happening. He was engaging the wood here, the back of the blade here, and then the handle out here. And I thought that was brilliant. I don't know if I would have come up with that without having seen somebody do it. And it was a much longer blade than this that he was doing this with. It was just incredible looking work. It was like, I don't even think sometimes some of these artists are as aware of how magical sometimes that stuff looks. Because it was so casual. And he's doing this, these amazing feats of dexterity. And man, Calvin is over there at Dad's workshop, looking like he's gonna turn into a full Japanese style timber framer like any day now. From just all that stuff. Let's see what the chat is about. Mike is making stuff, says doing wainscoting. Are we? Wainscoting? What? My honey sugar Catherine is very talented. Deleted my first comment. That's funny. Hello, Wes, my dear, says Mike. Hello, Mike, darling. How are you? How the bloody hell are you? Gagey says also you can make an angle guidelines and cut a chunk along those lines. It helps if you have a big bit to cut off, dear. Oh, gotcha. You know, I did make some lines just to make sure I hit the same places, but not fantastic. And I don't think that's exactly what you're talking about, but it's the best I could come up with for the time being. I'll chat. See, y'all are typing that. I'm the only one saying, calling all these men hun. All the strangers come in the room and be like, this is weird. I'm out of here. This dude's strange. This dude is harassing all the males in his chat. Get reported to YouTube. Doug said, looks so relaxed. That's what it's for. You are so right, Doug. You are so right. On both counts. Sometimes we gotta remember that, right? Got a good buddy in it like Doug. Come by and let us know. Stop tripping. Good. Then he reach in his jacket pocket. I got something for you, Holmes. I don't really think about this part right here. Like, it's one of them things, like sometimes you got too much time to think about it, you get re-intimidated. I am thinking though, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to start stropping these. I have not ever. I've only used them to carve a couple of things, but not ever sharpened or stropped them. I might as well figure out how to strop them decently. so I don't have to sharpen them as often, because these don't look like fun to sharpen at all. I'm looking for my compound. There we are. I'm gonna just use the stuff that came with them. This strap came with them, weirdly enough. $20. Get a strap, some compound, the whole 9 yards, bro. It's crazy. I know I'm doing this wrong, but if you want to give me some guidance, feel free. I won't be mad at you. Not that kind of guy. They should call me a big head, suspender wearing numbskull, and then I'll cry a little bit, but I won't fight. Just Carve Rob said hi. What's up, Just Carve Rob? Let's see how it does. See if it does any different. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely smashing. That's what we got. It's just pulling through. That's what I wanted. Now, let's go ahead and do this one while we got this stuff out, right? No point in not. Like said, Gagey said, honestly, do what works for you. Everybody has different techniques. Nobody's right or wrong. It's really what works and what doesn't. No skill or secret key to it. I don't know. Now, with the sharpening, I will say I was doing it wrong before. And I was not getting results. And I was confused to that. And then I got some helpful tips. But this is mostly flat blades that we're talking about. But yeah, I was doing it wrong. But I mean, there's multiple ways, definitely, for sure. And that's the thing I think that people get a little hung up on, is they only want to skin cats the way their great-great-grandpapa taught them. And anything beyond that is bad. In construction, there's a culture of that too, in almost every trade. And it's usually because contractors are hard on each other, right? And they're helpers. So they get yelled at a lot about doing it a certain way because, you know, that contractor's name is on it and they learn the trade that way. And then they have this anxiety attached to it. And so when they see somebody else doing something different, they just freak out. That's really what's happening. And I'm going to hit this one too for good measure. This one didn't seem as sharp as the others right out of the box. But man, right after you strop this stuff, they just glimmer. Just shimmer on that very, very tip. Anyways, let's see what we can do. Make a better spoon. For me and you. Boom, 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 boom. Mike said, I gotta ask how I was carving with that knife. Like it was. I was in the army long enough. For me, it's peeling potatoes is all. Oh, you know what? That's so true, Mike. I didn't think about that. I used to peel potatoes as a kid from my grandmother. Maybe that's where I got the skill. Maybe it's just deep-rooted core memories that I forgot about. That stropping definitely helped, yo. Definitely helped. Ugh. Mike is making stuff is giving away a mallet, that he carved. I think that was one of Mike's first carvings, and it's a magnificent carving. It's a little what do you call those? What do you call them? Like a whisper troll? What do they call those things? Jeez, something mystical in the trees. I don't know. But he carved one and it looks good. Shout outs to Mike is making stuff. If you want to see it, maybe win it. I don't think the contest is over. I'm not sure. Mike, what do you say? Put us down. Let us know what the business is, cool. Mike, that's relatable. In my base before discharge, my unit used to carve unicorns and cats out of our MRE potatoes. That's what Gagey says. Gagey. Such a character. Such a bloody character. It's pretty good, Wes, but slow it down and look at your wrist. Keep it straight through the whole side and keep it diagonal line. All right. Oh my God, you see that? You see that? That's where you know you're going the wrong way. Too deep. But now gotta fix it by just whacking it off, I guess. But yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. You gotta go the right way, or you will pay. Thing is, once I've done a thing one time, I want to go fast after that, but that's not the way to go after doing a thing one time. You know what I'm saying? What I do, I be wanting to cut off way too big of chunks of wood. But oh, how I love a good sharp knife. These really seem to be thoughtful, I should say. Like you can tell, I don't know if they're good metal or any of that, but you can tell that the handles were thought out, whether it was thought out by these folks or by somebody they ripped them off the design from, I don't know. But the results are they're fairly comfortable for a short little set of blades. Now, I'm getting greedy again, so I'm gonna chill out. I'm starting to form the bowl at the bottom. And I kind of feel like I'm supposed to be putting sort of a spine there, but then I also kind of feel like that might be a mistake. You see me being hard-headed and trying to go the wrong way anyway. And you can't tell from there, but as I'm doing this cut, I'm coming up, right? So if I slip, I'll miss that thumb. Just so. And now, with this kit also came gloves. That's the wrong way too. So there are protective gloves that will also hide your grotesque hands if you're a lifelong contractor like me. But there is no but. You just got to deal with these hands, baby. What are you talking about in the chat? Better be a fist fight in there, else I'm shutting this thing down. Just Carve Rob said it's easier if you rest the end of the strap on the bench. Works well for me. That's true. That's a fact. But on my big straps, that's what I do. I'll sit it down and then I'll go back and forth. Gage, you gotta go use the restroom. He'll be back. Boring DIY guy pulled up and said, "Hi guys, what's up, man? How you doing?" Stephen, DIY, boring guy DIY is to be celebrated. What's up, Pedro Martin? How you doing? How you doing? Steve, I'm gonna make you a moderator just so I can see you when you come in here. You know what I'm saying? I like to shout out the channels that are friends of the channel, and I like for you guys to be visible if you have a channel that you would care to promote, because I don't want to miss you. And it's a lot of good people that come in here. They get an opportunity to really meet some other really cool people. Boring Guy DIY did absolutely the best looking first mallet I've ever seen. I've never seen somebody do their first mallet like that. Like, he's got Blacktail Studios level clean to his builds. It's really impressive. Really impressive. Now, he's not building giant epoxy coffee tables, I don't think. But he could. He totally could. He's like, oh, I'm going to build a mallet for the first time. And 12 hours later, he had a whole short of this beautiful finished piece. I was blown away. Just Carve Rob says, hands are the resume of life's work. Of life work. I like that. I like that. I want to look like I was born rich. God. Guess Janet Jackson's just going to have to deal with it. Or whoever is left, you know, once I'm rich and famous. From YouTube. Yeah, Boring Guy DIY is the, he's got a very calm demeanor. But there's nothing boring about what he's building over there. Nothing at all. And he sounds like he should be on radio. You know, some people just have a pleasant enough voice to listen to. Calvin is like that. Lions is like that. Like, people tune in like it's just a radio station and listen to their talk radio or something. Like, they could totally do that. Said I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Lions had that on one of his videos. And I just want him, if y'all run into him again, you let him know that Wes said Lionel Richie made the only version of that song worth listening to. And if he wasn't such a good friend, I'd be insulted that he even put that version of the song on the short. I don't know who's singing it. It could be, I don't know. who's singing that version. And I was like, what? How dare you? Oh, that's way too much. Way too much. I be getting too ambitious, man. Too ambitious. Getting closer. Getting closer. By my brilliant mathematical brain, I can deduct that 20% of y'all hit that like button. And I appreciate that. And I love you for it. Those who didn't hit the like button, I love you for something else. But not for that. Not for that. Okay? We're going to have a talk later after the show about how to behave when somebody's carving in front of you. Okay? Tell them they're dope. Like their ish. And subscribe. You chunk nugget. Alright, let's see what we got. Comparatively, so we can kind of see where we're headed and where we're at. So we're not too far off. I mean, we ain't close, but I think because it's fat, it's definitely way too fat, right? But it's almost like a little soup spoon, like you might get at the Asian restaurant. But here's what I gotta do. I gotta cut this down. And I'm a coward, so I'm scared to do it, but I'm gonna just cut it down. It's stressful. But it is nice to get those little curls though. You got a good knife, sharp knife. That's the spice of life stuff right there. I remember when I was a little kid, and every now and then your uncle or somebody hand you their pocket knife and just let you cut your little thumb off. It's amazing. My uncle would give me his pocket knife. My grandfather would give me his pocket knife and just let you hold it and figure out if you could whittle something with it. Just had to sit in front of them so you didn't get in trouble and lose it. Like a little rite of passage. Got my son his first pocket knife for his 15th birthday. Got him a truck for his 16th birthday. Maybe he'll get to drive it by his 17th birthday. We'll see. Alright, we're starting to get that little dip. Starting to get into that little dip. And I'm not going to be fast about defining the size of the head of the spoon. I first want to establish where the rim is going to be. And then I'll think about that. Because I can carve down to that, whatever that ends up being. But I got to get this below that so it'll drop properly. Looped. Hey, nice whittling. Thank you. He says, be careful, bro, though. All it takes is a slip. I'm trying to tell you, cat. I'm trying to tell you. Fortunately, I will say this. I do have a slight advantage over the typical novice carver, which I absolutely am. And that advantage is that I have worked with a lot of power tools and a lot of knives for a lot of years. Um, so my hands, I trust my hands a whole lot for the most part. It does not mean I don't get cut. It does not mean I can't get cut. It does mean I have a little bit more experience in my hands than the average Joe. So if something looks unsafe, absolutely say it in the chat, because some of these rules I might already be breaking because of my familiarity with certain tools that might be familiar or similar to this. But I don't want to encourage anybody to do something the wrong way or unsafely, because you might not have the safeguards built in that I have as for being a professional contractor for a number of years. Where some of my cutting has to do with, you know, circular saw blades just as close. That's almost like a guarantee that I'm gonna bleed before this chat is over. It's almost a guarantee because I said that. I'm sure of it. All right, I'm getting closer. Small Wood Lot said my father gave me his pocket knife he carried for 70 years and never ever used it. He just put it on his dresser and left it there. He gave it to me about a year ago. He's 96. That is amazing. That's an heirloom now. That's amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations. That must have felt great. That must have felt great. Rob said, just carved Rob says, Grandpa gave me my first pocket knife when I was 8 to help skin deer and small game. I still have it, an old Barlow that's way worn. Wow. He says, have you ever carved a wooden chain? I have not, but I 100% want to. In fact, I've got a lot of ideas about wooden chains, actually. Quite a lot. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go that way. Definitely going to go that way. And I've been thinking about it. I think if you're willing to glue a wooden chain, if you're willing to glue links, you'll open up a whole new world. You know what I mean? And I think I'm going to make some links and then, you know what I mean? And connect them by fastening two pieces and gluing them together. It might take a while, but it feels like it'll be worth it. That would be such a flex. Walking around with the wooden Mr. T joint on. What? Pity the fool. My wooden watch is crazy light. I've been wearing this wooden ring for the last 2-3 days just to see how comfy it is. Forget it's there. Forget it. You forget it's there. It's just crazy light. That I didn't think about with the ring. I just didn't think I'd notice. But yeah, sometimes I'd have to look down at my hand to make sure I didn't lose it, or kind of rub my other finger next to it. I lose rings like crazy. Hey. We need them saw stop circular saws. I know it, right? Carving a ball in a cage is fun. Now, I saw that somebody did it just the other day. Let me show you. They did it in something like this. And they did it with a Dremel. They cut the circles on all the sides and then they trimmed it down. And then they eventually carved inside of that. It was incredible looking. I think it'd be a cool project to try to pull off. Try it in a matchstick. Try what in a matchstick, Doug? What you talking about? I think I'm just, yeah. I'm so timid about going too far on these. Let's try this thing and see what it does a little bit. Okay. Not too bad. A little device. Works much better sharp. Wasn't as sharp before. This one definitely wasn't. That's dope. It's a whole different tool than I thought it was now. Whole different tool. I gotta figure out how I want to use it though. Should I use it proper? Should I use it properly? Well, the good thing about this kit is it gives you like 8 or 9 of these little blanks like this. So you got quite a few chances to screw it up. And you've got quite a few chances to learn and get some stuff right. And as far as I can tell, it seems to be a good carving wood. Basswood. So yeah. Totally loving it. Now this part I'm probably doing all wrong. But sort of working. Sort of working, sort of working there tonight. Sort of working spoons. Sort of working. Let's see what the chat says. It's fun to carve while sitting on the bank fishing. Are you serious? I'd be a nervous wreck. I'd be a nervous wreck, man. I wouldn't be able to watch my lines and carve at the same time. I'd be missing fish left and right. So nay, I say to you, nay. I guess if you're catfishing though. But if you gotta watch a bobber or watch a line tug, then that sounds like torture to me. The chain I carved was a school project in middle school. Each link was a different wood. Walnut, maple, bass, oak, gum, and balsa. That's amazing, man. Right on. Right on. I like that you did that. That's amazing. It's very impressive. This thing is nice. Now I think I gotta start aiming this blade back up. Well, I don't know if you call that a blade on a spoon. This is a really good tool. I did not know that's what that was going to be, but it is, for sure. I gotta figure out what do I need to get off of here to get a good angle. And I need to just go ahead and establish the bottom of the bowl. I want this to have a little bit more bowl than the smaller one. Not a bunch more, but a little more. A little more depth. Maybe it could be a little sugar spoon, you know? The sugar on my spoon. She got it, give me some. Right there on my thumb. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right there on my thumb. Sugar with a mayonnaise sandwich. Uh-oh. Slipped. Getting crooked. Trying to go fast again. Slow down. Slow down. Hey, baby, your hips are getting big. Now you're looking sick. You don't care about your weight. Now, what do you got a pair of my speakers? Don't know where we got them because I hit them on the speakers. Optical connection is got connection. Crackers, they're coming to my door. I don't smoke jump, so what you knocking for? Some old school brand Nubian for you. I'm just pulling material off, trying to get closer and closer to my finished dimensions. Just so happen I have a good spot for this particular direction. So, slicing up real good right here. We will continue down. Pull more out of this thing. Maybe we could try to go away from ourselves with that. We gotta give me some. You're right there on my tongue. This is extremely satisfying. Like, it's a weird mix of anxiety and satisfaction. It's a little bit surreal, to be honest with you. It's like, maybe something similar to dancing. There's a part of you that's thinking about what you're going to do, and there's a part of you that's not thinking about it at all. It's just allowing it to happen. And that's about the place where you start dialing in, you know? We're starting to get our sort of spoon shape. So I'm going to start working my way back up that handle, so to speak. Somehow I just keep convincing myself it'll all work out fine if I just maintain symmetry. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. Now, I wasn't minding that a whole lot because I was pulling off a lot of material on purpose, but it was a bad habit and it went too far. Went too far. soon as I get this side caught up to that side where I just did that mess, then I'm going to check my chats. Make sure I'm not ignoring all of you. Those of you who are sticking around, thanks. Mr. Pollitt says, looking good, man. Rat Smacker is in the building. I didn't even see him. Yeah, new spoon. What up, what up? Says I'm making a catapult for Mickey Mouse. Hilarious. I could be making a catapult for Mickey Mouse. You don't know. You don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. It's, yeah. It's my very exciting little spoon. Exciting to me. I don't know if anybody else cares at all about it, but for me, it feels like an important thing to learn. Don't know. You never know when you might need to make a spoon. You know what I'm saying? Certainly some survivalists. You could do that rough shape pretty quick if you're good at it. And you could get soup before all the other zombie apocalypse survivors. Unless somebody's got a lathe, and then they'll be making bowls, and then they'll get more soup. And that's how the shank was invented. Rough shape spoonage doesn't have the part where you can get stuff yet, or the part where it looks fully like a spoon yet, but we are getting there. And we get to use this. So we'll do a little bit of that. I gotta get my lights fixed. Looks so dull in here. I might not even have all my lights on. Hold on. It's a little better. I wonder if I'm too premature on cutting this bowl out. Could be too late. Who knows? Eventually got to make a chessboard and the chess pieces. I think maybe a lathe might be the way to go for that. Just couldn't imagine by the time I've done 4 pawns, carving them by hand, that I'd be interested in doing a 5th, you know what I mean? But I think I'd be willing to turn them on a lathe. I think I'd probably have to do a dozen because number 12 is going to look so much better than number 2 and 3 that I'm going to have to make more just because I'll be better at it by the time I get to the end. And the first ones won't be up to the standard. It'd be nice to carve some knights. A couple of fancy pants kings and queens. This is doing decent. Better than anything I've invented, but it's not super sharp. I don't think I want to stop and resharpen it, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, that's obviously what's happening. I'm not stopping. Smallwood Lot says, okay, folks, I'm out. 3:30 comes too soon. I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you kicking it with us for a little bit. Getting some of this spoon carved out. Getting a little bit more depth than what we got in the last one. Should be a good thing. And we also have to pull the bottom up to match it. Get the, I guess. As they get smaller, part of the complexity of the task is the holding of the spoon while you drag the tool across it with any kind of force. This I'm a little bit scared of. So let me just kind of put my thumb in there and let it kind of guide my cuts from there. different on that side. It's different. It's hard to keep a nice straight line because you got to bring two lines together, if you get what I'm saying. If you get what I'm saying. I would describe to you what I was doing if I knew what I was doing. Couldn't tell if I licked myself just then. I didn't see a crimson gush, so I'm thinking I'm alright. Oh, it's not bad, not bad, not bad. Getting closer to our final form. Getting closer to those original pencil marks. Stay pretty true to it. Stay pretty true to it. I know I was getting a little wild on that one. Getting a little too wild. Slow it down, bring it up, heel. Maybe bring it down heel. A little bit of that swoopy action. Sometimes swooping is the way to go. Smoke know about what I'm talking about. Smoke no swooping is the way to go. Rat Smacker. Welcome to the channel. Oh, Rami, what's up? Welcome back. Don't cut myself. Why do people keep saying, don't cut myself? Well, maybe that's just like automatic anxiety when people see knives. Like, don't cut yourself. Like, oh my God. I'm glad you said that because I was just thinking about cutting myself. And now I have proper instruction. Because we care about you, Rat Smacker says. Daggone it. Daggone it. Now I've gone and felt like a jerk. Alright. Thanks for loving me. Jeez. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. These spoons are extremely patience-oriented thing. And you just be doing it and out of nowhere, a bunch of time has gone by. And then out of nowhere, you have a spoon. And I don't know, there's a whole lot that I've done that make me much happier than the successful spoon carving. But for some reason, it was a high value happiness tool for me all of a sudden. I might have been carving spoons since I was a kid and saved my parents some trouble. Should have just gave me more knives. Sharpen these and return them to me, parents. Properly! West Menendez. Too soon? Yeah, it's too soon. Look at that. Right after somebody's like, don't cut yourself, I talk crap. Go straight for the jugular. Alright, I like this. I think it's close. I think I'm going to put some sanding on the backside of this thing just so that I can get an idea of what full shape I want. Because this is real close, I think, to what I want on the backside. Still got to get inside of that bowl to get that worked out. And I do not know if the spoon carving community frowns on sandpaper or not, but that's what I'm doing. Be a master carver and a master sander, right? Just don't join the debate team, then you'll be dad jokes. Why does YouTube have a lotion emoji? I was jealous. I don't know. That's weird. That's funny. What's up, CJ? How you doing? Echo Woodcrafts. What's happening? What is happening? Welcome to the chat. I apologize. I've been ignoring you because I've been trying not to become an 8-finger freak. You need me? Every now and then someone will come knocking, bumping at my chamber door. But the laundry room is also on the other side of that door, so I don't know if laundry is going on or summoning. So, I guess it's laundry. I feel like the maintenance man over here. I am the maintenance man. The maintenance dad. It's like the opposite of the Oliver Twist story. It's like just a 50-year-old man that lives with a bunch of kids and and they treat him bad. Oh, boy. My kids don't treat me bad. But I do clearly work for them. They dress better than me. Let's see how far we've come. Okay. Sort of a spoon, sort of still an ugly spoon. We're getting there though. So let's go ahead and get this bowl right, and then we can start adjusting some of the finales, some of the finishes. That's not what I want. This is what I want. I think I have to do this because I don't think any of these other knives here will do that except for the old bowl cutter that we started with. And I wasn't super thrilled with the sharpness of that. Just wasn't. This might be slightly better circumstance. I wonder if there are people who can do this to the level where they know what unit of measurement they're cutting out. Like, oh yeah, that's 3 ounces. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like they can look at it and be like, this is exactly a tablespoon of material missing. I gotta learn how to sharpen these round tools. Just so that I can use them again. Yikes. This bad boy out. See if we can scrape the rest of that residue. Good job, Thomas. Good job. Hmm. crooked. A little bit crooked. I don't know if I can fix that. Shoot. Very close. Very close. I don't know if I can get a whole lot more out of that. Because I think I'm going to reach the limitations of a knife itself. Don't know. I did not mean to be cutting that. This is somewhat downside of a good sharp knife, I guess. spoon. Pretty close. What's up, mister? Thanks, Rat. Can I get 100 spoons, Eli? Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. For $40,000, I'd handle it. Few spoons. Thanks, CJ. I cannot tell you how relieved I am. Just not to ruin it. That's the weird thing about carving a spoon. You're excited just not to ruin it. Like, if it just looks like a spoon at the end, like you're happy. You're like, oh yeah, I did it. But if it don't, it's gonna ruin your day. It would have ruined mine if it didn't end up looking like a spoon. Tell you that much about your boy. I'll also let you know I'm happy with it. I am. But I need something else to do. Oh, did you guys see this? Yeah, I did a short on it earlier, but that's how the blue turned out on the old box for the Royal Violin. Thought it was a good touch. I'll make it close. Best ice cream sandwich in the internet. Ow. A honey dipper and a cutting board. Maybe a honey dipper. I don't know about a cutting board. I kind of got it. Mr. Polite says, it's been fun making spoons with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Rat said, I commented on the short, and CJ says, gorgeous box. Thank you. Thank both of you. And with that being said, I think I'm going to retire for the evening. I appreciate all of you that come out and hung out with me. I thought about doing a hinge and a latch. I just like the class of being able to kind of listen real close. That sounds good, right? I mean, I kind of like that. I kind of like it. So I'm going to probably leave it this way. May wrap it, put a little bow on it, but I got to ship it out this weekend. If he gets in touch with me, and I'll get rid of this other stuff that I'm sending out, and then I'll start making new stuff. Start sending that stuff out. If you guys have ideas of something that you'd like to see made or attempted, I will try it. Some stuff. I also got to like it and want to do it. But, Rat says, never retire, Wes. Take breaks, but don't leave us. And yeah, that box is awesome. Thanks, Rat. I'm at Carnage. What's up, Carnage? How you doing? Hey, man, I still need my address for the mallet. No, I still got it. I got it in my email box, so it'll definitely be going out to you this weekend with a lot of stuff. Eli says, yeah, very cool. Y'all are awesome. I really appreciate a whole lot y'all coming through and all the little hearts over there and all the little likes up there. It's been dope. It's been fun. We're going to keep getting at it. Oh, Carnage, I still do have my Kershaw, but I got rid of that little Gerber is what I had on my hip that you saw. Similar to the one you had earlier. I'll show it to you real quick. As I said before, I got that pair of Gerbers on a deal. So there was this little one, and then there was a bigger one that's a little closer to this size of this, but it's the same exact build as this. And that's the one I had to toss. It's so light, I forget I have it on me. You almost got arrested last night. What are you talking about, man? I'll hang out to hear that. What happened? Try making a whistle. That might be interesting. That might be interesting. You know, eventually. When I say eventually, I usually mean within a year once I get an idea. I feel like I can build an actual acoustic guitar. I think I can do this. I'll have to figure out, you know, what happens with this part and the ferrules and stuff. This part I could build right now. This part I don't know. The neck. That I don't know. Not yet. But I'm gonna learn how. And I'm gonna do it. I mean, I got that. You know what I'm saying? How about some Tom Petty? What happened? Alright, tonight, my neighbor was a psycho, threw a rock at the back of my head and assaulted me, and I ended up in the back of a cop car for an hour and a half. What? That's crazy. Finally figured out you can get back to the live chat when it's posted as a long form vid. Really? I didn't know that, CJ. I might have to do that, though. I might have to do that because she has mental health and issues, and normally almost went to jail, but I had to talk my way out of it because I told them all the statements, and now she's in trouble. That's wild. Rat, let me tell you. Play you something is you just don't want to hear it, Rat. I got no talent here. None. And I've had this guitar for like 20 years, believe it or not. And I can't play a single song, note, nothing. And I really tried for like a long time. And then I just gave up. Because I suck. You got to know what you're wasting your time on, you know what I mean? But I think I could build one. All of my kids can pick this up and play it like no problem. Just freestyling. It's crazy. Tom Petty. She assaulted me and I told her to go F herself. And I'm in the cop car. Yeah, I don't know about Canada at all, but typically, you know, cops try to secure the person who could be the threat. You know what I mean? So if there's a little person and a big person, they're usually gonna hold on to the big person. You're just probably the big person in the scenario. But I'm sorry you went through all of that, man. Air West is my bad. What, air guitar? It's this whole mental health thing. Now you can't claim you're crazy. You get away with murder. Nah. Just people have problems, you know? People have problems. Nobody's really trying to get away with stuff. They just have problems, I think. We got to be careful not to get cynical as we get, you know, approached with other people's stuff. It's frustrating, but it don't have to be our stuff. But yeah, man, I hope, I'm glad you're home and you're safe and everything's okay. I really do. When I grew up, we never had mental health, had problems. Our dad slapped us ahead and told us to wake up. Mine did too. And it turns out that in and of itself causes a lot of mental health problems, fella. I'm just trying to tell you. Everybody says, hey, we got beat on and we're just fine. No, you're not. No, you're not. They really have to address that. You really have to address that maybe it wasn't just fine. That the person who was supposed to take care of you was beating on you when you were most vulnerable. And they're the most important person to you. There's other ways. I mean, I don't tell anybody what to do with their life, but that's somebody else's life. I definitely got capital punishment when I was a kid. It definitely gave me the perspective that the world ain't fair. You got to be strong enough to whoop some ass. And that ain't right. One thing I do know, I'm an older guy now, right? So I can stand on my soapbox for a little bit. You live in the world you create, right? So if you function in peace and happiness and ease, that's the world you're gonna live in. If you function in a world of chaos and anger, hostility, that's the world you're gonna live in. And you can live in either. You can live in either. I've lived in both. I've lived in the worst and I've lived in the best, I promise you. And the difference was not the environment, the difference was me. The difference was absolutely me. But that's crazy. Handcuffs don't feel nice, man. Human beings in a cage is a crime against humanity in my mind. It's an awful, awful thing to do to a person. If you ever, I've been a bunch for this traffic stuff, tons. Uh, but yeah, human beings shouldn't be in cages. I think you should be doing the worst of the worst to be in that kind of situation. But I do appreciate y'all hanging out. Sorry about my soapboxing. Woodchucker, good to see you, buddy. CJ, good to see you. Carnage, good to hang out with you, man, as always. I'm glad that worked out. I hope your neighbor gets their stuff together. Try to have a little empathy for him. I'm sure you do because you're a good guy. But, you know, that's how it goes. Nah, I'm just an old guy. You know, you get around, you see enough, you know, pick up some stuff. But I'm going to get to bed. I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, this is crazy. Like, this is a big thing to me. And it's a big thing for me for y'all to hang out and care about it at all. And I appreciate it. Have a good night. All love you. Carnage, love you too, man. CJ, we'll see you later. Woodchuck and Caleb. Y'all check out Caleb's channel. Check out Carnage's channel if you get a chance. Really, really good channels there. Thanks, Caleb. I appreciate it, man. See you later, Skeletor. I didn't even see you in here tonight. I was so busy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, man. Y'all be good. Carnage for sure. Every time, bro. Y'all be good. Peace. West Tazi.